You know what fascinates me is like basically the first 16 or 17 years of my life when I never, I mean, I took a couple sips of my, stole a beer there for my dad, but I never really went out and tried to get drunk until I was like 16 or 17. But I went for like a decade and a half, like I was straight edge. You know what I mean? And but the thing was,
oh, you told kids you were straight edge. You're like, I don't drink. I'm good.
No, just out of being a kid. It's not like your first 10 years of your life. You're like, fuck, playground, man. I need a drink. I mean, it's just not where your world is at. And the thing was, it's Pandora's box. Then once you catch a buzz, then it's just like, oh man, this is this other kind of living. And it's I didn't understand that. I was kind of using that as like a, I'm not saying I'm never going to fucking drink again, but I had to like, I kind of just had to like step back and just be like, all right, because, the reality is I got a kid, so I just didn't want to be that. I'm like,
yeah, you don't want to be drunk when your kid's around.
I'm like fucking Lou Grant with a bottle of whiskey remember that on Mary Tyler Moore show? She'd have a rough day and she'd come in. And
I don't remember the whole show.
I can explain it to you.
Yeah.
If I can explain it to you. This fucking guy just I don't know what that is. All right.
No, I believe it.
I don't know. And the second I started to explain, like, I don't know the whole show. All right, I get it. I believe That's that comic ADD. Like, I don't want to I'm not into it. I don't want to hear it. I got it. Your show. Go ahead. Continue.
I remember. All right, let's talk about old shows then.
We don't have to. It was so funny how you bailed twice on that.
Patty Duke. What about that?
You made me feel like an asshole. Like that was the 15th time I fucking brought it up. Sorry, no Mary Tyler Moore. One of the great ensemble fucking cast of all time.
I do know she just died recently.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to bring up a more positive story about the show, but yeah, it's the second time. I bring up fucking George Michael. What was it, an AIDS event? Some sort of gay thing?
Oh, I didn't say gay, bro.
But why did you say AIDS?
Because he had AIDS, man.
No, he didn't.
Did he? Jesus Christ.
No, he didn't.
Dude. Well, people have been saying he did.
I think you are confusing it with gay.
No, I'm not. I didn't know he was gay. I knew that apparently he got AIDS in a park. That's what I heard. And
he blew a guy in a porta potty and got busted for lewd activity.
Oh.
And then, he had a little fucking, he liked getting a little buzz at the end of the fucking day, and maybe it got away from him. I think that's what happened. But like what I would like to focus on was how amazing his voice was and how talented he was. And I performed it and stood in the same spot that this guy did.
Yeah.
That's what the point was, not what he died of.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
And I wish it was.
What happened in your life? Who'd you lose early on? You're really into death.
Well, no. I mean, I remember listening.
You don't want to get to know Mary Tyler Moore because you're afraid she's going to leave you too?
I remember listening to George Michael on the school bus when I would go to school. And I felt like, and I would always sit by myself.
Did you feel like you were going to catch AIDS by doing that? Some sort of airborne HIV through the fucking radio? I mean, bro, I was holding it up to my ear,
I could feel my ass.
In a roofless school bus. Whatever the windborne radio AIDS was going to get me. No, I'm bald.
No.
I'm going bald.
I know, but you still had some stuff, residue of hair.
Residue?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had residue. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You could have done a Chernobyl thing that you were doing. But yeah, but you didn't. You just had to shave it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Are we going right now?
No, we don't. There's no rules. But I'm just asking a question.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to answer.
I understand that. But why are you? Your head looks like Darth Vader when he took his fucking helmet off. Remember that when he was just all fucked up?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Is that the? That's fine. You're Bill Burr, but.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Yeah, go ahead. I just
process of you coming out of the gate shitting on me.
Yeah.
When you start to lose your hair, you got three options.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
And there's subsets to all of them.
All right.
Okay, you can do the Rogaine, the hair plugs,
right.
a system, of fucking all of that. Propecia, a fucking, they glue some shit on your head.
Right.
They take some of your pube hair and you get an afro.
Yeah.
Or you can just sort of let it happen.
Which you were doing, which I was like, that's the dope way to do it.
Oh, I'm glad I had your approval. Or you can just say fuck it.
Yeah.
And do what I did. So I just said fuck it.
Okay.
But what if
and I do. Like, I love how you came at me aggressive, and now you're going. You got your those little panda hands.
I was.
up.
I love how you attacked my little panda hand.
That's what you look like. You look like a little panda.
I know. I was just because when you took your hat
like
off,
a little adolescent bear.
You know, I was 19. I was freshman, sophomore, so I was acting like an idiot. We'll
Also
pull
doing
up.
a couple cycles of Winstrol.
Yeah,
at
I was
that
on
time.
Winstrol at the time.
Yeah, he did a couple cycles.
It's what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So
Low steroids.
So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
Steroids for basketball?
Yeah.
Well, just you could move. I mean, I could just, I could like tomahawk dunk. I was just like being an athlete. Basketball was such a huge part of my life that my friends, when I do comedy, if they, do something with comedy, my friends from home.
Wait, you couldn't dunk and then you took roids and then you could?
No, I always could. Well, I couldn't always. I started being able to dunk when I was like 16. I did Winstrol once for like 6 weeks, so it was a small part of it.
You did a cycle.
I did a cycle.
cycle.
Just one cycle.
Yeah.
Happens. And to be honest with you, when I did that cycle, I was my junior year in college. It was my worst year because I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and all bullshit from
Did your balls
Side
shriveling up?
yeah, all that.
You could go between the legs a little easier that year.
Yeah, my balls
With the
were shriveled.
anxiety.
But it was just the way to communicate.
I
in my
love that
neighborhood.
you felt at Division III. I got to get on roids. I need a competitive edge here.
Yeah.
We got to beat LaSalle Academy next week.
Yeah. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing. I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
it's-
but when
That's
the
more of a necklace.
when the chain's out,
Yeah,
He has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around
Yeah,
his
I see.
fucking neck.
No,
Yeah.
I say guy when the chain's out.
Yeah, when it
Okay.
chains out. Yeah, but he does make a good point. It's not really
not-
a chain. It's more of an ankle bracelet on a big
Well,
girl.
yeah, my kid's mom was like, "Why are you wearing women's jewelry?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Shut up."
But here's the thing: his mom bought him for that, and he for high school, and then he found it in his room and
yeah.
he put it back on.
My-
I'm saying his face; it's too much Guido when it comes out.
No, you know what it is? You've aged past that chain where it becomes a necklace. If you're like
Right.
18, I get it. This is his first
Right, yeah.
one.
Yeah.
A relative bought it for him.
Yeah,
One time, I was in Rome, right? One day with my wife, and we went to the Vatican to go take the tour of the Sistine Chapel.
yeah.
So there's a way to, I don't know, we went through the whole fucking thing, and we're just sitting there, we come in and we're looking at it, whatever, and we're standing in the line. It took for fucking ever. So I say to my wife, I was going, if I lived here, I'd open a bar across the street called the 17 Chapel. She goes, what? I go, the 17 Chapel. She goes, what? I don't know. 16 Chapel? 17 Chapel. It's like having the 19th hole
Oh my God.
bar thing. And she looked at me
Oh my
like,
God.
oh my God, I'm breeding with this.
Oh
and she
my
goes,
God.
Bill, it's the Sistine Chapel. And then all I could say was this. I just go, no, it isn't. and then it was funny. Then I walked in, and I looked up, and I didn't even like it. It's not even that big. It's like the size of the side of this fucking thing. He milked it. It should have taken way less time. I'm telling you, they were paying him by the fucking hour.
And I'm in a bar called the 17.
No, I have a lot of those. I have a lot. Oh, Jesus, don't die on us, man.
Although I can imagine the room before it, you're like 15 and 16.
I thought it was the 16 Chapel.
Here we go.
Let's get a lady.
This is the
here.
first person wearing a shirt, I believe.
That's our audience.
All right.
Hey Bill, hey Theo, this is Marissa from Raleigh, North Carolina. And so Bill, I heard you say on, I believe it was Joe Rogan's podcast, that you really like the film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and you've seen it several times. And I know Theo said that he walked out halfway through it. So I was just wondering maybe if you could talk about why you loved it so much, and Theo, why you walked out halfway through it. Anyway, gang.
Well, this is where Bill and I don't talk anymore after this.
No. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. I absolutely fucking loved it.
I heard on your podcast you say that you loved it.
Oh my God, dude, it's the best work. Leo's. I mean, Brad Pitt's great. First time you watch it, I was just like, I want to be like Brad Pitt's the guy I want to be.
Yeah.
And then the second time I watched it, I was like, oh my God, I'm just like Leo's character. I have an emotional fucking mess. Well, I don't know what part you walked out in, but
I walked out after they went to that house for the first time, after they met the old guy, and they were in the yard, and then his car had a flat tire. And at that point, I was like, I got to get out of here. I don't know what these guys are doing. I felt like it was just kind of a waste of, I don't know. I couldn't get into it, and I didn't know what was going on. and it made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, I got to get out of here because I started to feel like everybody knows what's going on, and I don't know what's going on. I guess.
Yeah, that's for you and the therapist, buddy.
Yeah.
If that happens to you at the fucking movies, if you think the whole movie theater gives a shit about whether.
No, I don't think
were you making like audible noises that you didn't? Huh? What? Oh.
Oh my god.
That's the only way they would know.
Fuck, man. I didn't know I was so fucked up, man.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
No, I really didn't.
You do.
I didn't have the insider track, man.
You do.
I really didn't, though. I really didn't, man.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and try to talk you into that masterpiece. It's one of my. It might be my favorite thing.
That's what you said. That's unbelievable.